Hello, and welcome back to Let's Chat with Jen and Angie. I'm Angie.
And I'm Jen.
And together we are Heart and Home Legacy Group with Edina Realty. This week we're going to have an interesting chat about some homeowners insurance.
Oh, I'm so excited.
Such a fun topic, but it's very important because there's a reason why we're having this conversation, and that is because homeowners insurance, people are starting to get declined.
Yeah.
And we want to talk about that and what that looks like for Minnesota.
And our homeowners and our buyers and our sellers and all the things.
Yeah, so let's chat about it. It's crazy. And it's something that surprises a lot of people. So let's start with the big picture. Homeowners insurance has changed a ton in the last few years.
Carriers are tightening up on their guidelines, reducing the risk, and in some cases even pulling out of certain markets altogether, Minnesota included.
Yes, and why would they do that? And that's because we're seeing a lot more roof inspections, we're seeing more underwriting questions, and more last minute denials. And why are we seeing that and what's going on? Let's talk about that. Top reasons why homeowners insurance is getting declined. Number one,
roof age and condition. So if your roof is 15 to 20 years old, that would be a big red flag for an insurance company.
And in Minnesota, especially with hail, snow loads on the roofs, we have ice dams. Insurance companies are laser focused on how all of our roofs are going.
Yeah, even in our research, we found that some insurance carriers won't even insure asphalt roofs over a certain age at all.
Even if there's no leaks.
Times have changed.
Times have changed. Yeah. All right, number two reason why people are getting declined is previous claim history. So multiple claims in a short time frame can be a problem for insurance companies.
And even if they're small claims, so it could be hail damage, water damage, wind, they can stack up, make the property look like it's a high risk to insurance.
Yes. And claims follow the property. They do not follow the people. So the homeowner isn't going to get followed. It's the property of the home.
Where that home is located.
Yep. The next one, number three, knob and tube or outdated electrical can cause people to lose their insurance.
Yeah, older Minnesota homes, and we love them as much as we love them, but outdated wiring can trigger an instant decline with home insurance.
Yes, and if you're not familiar with knob and tube was very popular back in the day. You can look and you'll see in the basement the little knobs, and then they've got tubes coming off of it, knob and tube. But it's an older version, knob and tube, aluminum wiring. It's unpermitted. Electrical updates is another thing, but the knob and tube. And you'll also see a lot of people have knob and tube, but they also have upgraded electrical kind of following that.
It's definitely harder to find these days, but anything with electrical, I would say, is something that can be very watched with insurance companies, and even with buyers and sellers. People are really very particular, and rightfully so, very particular with their electrical.
It's important. A lot of our inspections then require, we have ask for the seller to have somebody come in just to look at it.
Yeah.
Because if you have a fire, like think about that. If you have a fire, so you have knob and tube, and a lot of electricians will say knob and tube is fine. Obviously, insurance companies have experienced fires or things that have been caused by said things.
Yeah.
And let's say that you have a house that has a fire, and then they find out that you weren't being truthful or you didn't
get a permit, or you didn't have it certified.
It's definitely something that everybody needs to be aware of.
Yep.
Or wood burning fireplaces and secondary heat sources.
Yeah, we talk about this a lot, but it does surprise people. But wood stoves, pellet stoves, fireplaces without proper documentation or inspection can lead to insurance denial completely.
Yes. And as much as fireplaces are an important part of Minnesota life for many people, and they're fabulous, they're relaxing, they're all the things, but you have to make sure they're safe. And when we have property inspections with our clients, most of them that they had to have some kind of, and that's because of fire hazards, and you would want that. So even if you have a chimney, you have a fireplace that is heating your home and you're a seller, make sure that you get that looked at so that you just don't have any surprises later, because over time soot builds, and in different Like the whole flow of airflow is amazing in a chimney and why things have to be a certain way. And over time, things shift, soot builds, and it's just important to be really mindful of that.
Yeah.
So, number 5, another big one is vacant or seasonally occupied homes. And that's huge in Minnesota because we have a lot of cabins, lake cabins that are utilized as a second enjoyment home. And those properties that sit vacant during a sale, they're oftentimes harder to insure.
Especially lake homes, they will require specialty policies.
Number 6, and this shouldn't even be surprising, is trampolines and pools. And what's the big thing? Liability risk under the microscope for those.
No, with trampolines without fences, pools without proper barriers.
That would make sense as far as like the pool and the trampolines. If you're going to have a pool, and most cities and towns are going to require this already, but you should have a fence for safety reasons. So what's really changed over the years? Let's talk about that. And why is this all happening now? Why are we seeing such an increase in our insurance? And why are some areas not getting coverage?
Yeah, more severe weather, higher rebuild costs, so things have gotten more expensive, labor shortages, so all the things we've been feeling, right?
Yes.
I think the insurance company's been feeling. Inflation has hit insurance companies just as hard as it's probably hit all of us.
Yeah. And in Minnesota, we don't have hurricanes and things, but we do have hailstorms, and we've had an increase in hailstorms, storm damage, water losses, and carriers are responding to that at risk. So what can homeowners and buyers do? Is if you're selling, know the roof age. We'll definitely be asking that question to you because it's all over property disclosure. Just making sure that you know the age of your roof, that you know any electrical updates. If you have electrical updates that you did not have a professional do, think about having somebody come in just to double check it and then make sure you have the receipt so that we can show that. And more of that is because we want to be proactive. The last thing you want as a seller or a buyer is to have last minute hiccups. And Jen and I try to alleviate those possibilities.
If you're a buyer, get your insurance quotes early, preferably before the inspection. They'll know, get the zip code, give them the address, get those insurance quotes early.
Working with a local real estate agent, having a local insurance broker who understands Minnesota specific things, that's really important too.
Yeah, I mean, look, we've been doing real estate for a long time. When I first started, insurance was not on my radar as far as getting that information out to you early. It certainly is now because insurance can make or break a deal. It definitely can. So it's something that we talk about right away with our buyers and our sellers.
Absolutely. Being prepared is everything, and seeing that the closings are smooth is where we like to make sure that all of our transactions end. We like to have the difficult conversations right off the top.
Yeah, get with a trusted real estate agent, preferably Angie or I, but or your insurance agent. Hopefully you have someone that you're working with, but if not, we can help with that too.
Yeah, it's just being informed. The goal is to make sure that you are fully informed. And when we do meet with our buyers, that is part of what we sit down. Jen will go over all of the process of it. And now part of that sit down is now talking about insurance. Not something that we always had to do, but something that really has become part of the process.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, thank you so much for listening. We hope that you found some value and learned some things today. And as always, make sure to always stay grounded, stay grateful, and keep building that legacy. Bye.